Next I'm going to play Sonic 3 for the Sega Mega Drive. I think this is an appropriate time to do a video of Sonic 3. I could have done Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That is Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles together. But I think that would have made the video far too long. So I'm just going to do Sonic 3. And I'm going to play my original copy of Sonic 3. I don't know why, but for some reason young Andrew thought it was a good idea to start peeling the label away. Here's my Mega Drive. It's set up next to this. Let's play some Sonic 3. Sega! What a cool title screen that is. And I'm going to start a new game here. Because this is only Sonic 3, you can only be Sonic, Tails, or Sonic and Tails. And here we go. First things first, just look at how good this looks. There's so much on screen. I mean, at first glance you might look at it and think it's just a Sonic the Hedgehog game, but I think they've done a really good job with the graphics here. The colours really pop. They've done a really good job making it look like a lush jungle. There's a lot of detail in the background, and you've even got some foreground parallax. If you notice those plants at the bottom of the screen there. And now the level's on fire. I don't know what those blue lines are in the waterfall. Yeah, so what an action-packed first level. That is something that there's a lot more of in Sonic 3. There's a lot of little cutscenes, but they don't stop the gameplay for very long, so they're not really that intrusive. Now, the story is, after Sonic 2, Dr. Robotnik's Death Egg crash-landed into the floating islands. For some reason, the floating islands are now in the ocean. They're not floating anymore. And that's why almost all of the levels are flooded. is some funky music. Alright, Act 1 finished. That is quite a short one. Some of these acts are actually really quite long. I think this is the best designed special stage in the classic games. Although I quite like the Knuckles Chaotic special stages. They're like basic 3D levels, but I do think these ones are designed a lot better. And of course the Mega Drive can't do 3D. You can't really get the Mega Drive to draw many polygons, so they've just gone for spheres. I think the special stages in this are quite easy because they are just the first 6 out of 14 or something like that. Not the first 6, the first 7 out of 14. My first emerald, and it is actually green. What I'll do is I'll stop talking every now and then so you can listen to the in-game music. Actually, notice how the game stutters just a little bit as the water appears on screen. I've always thought this little thing over here is a bit odd, this little section here, because it looks like you should be able to go to the right, but you can't. Alright, we're getting to the end of the level now. Ah yeah, the bonus round. That's another addition to Sonic 3 that you don't get in the previous games. If you're lucky you can get an extra life. Alright, I've ended up with a bubble shield. But yeah, like I was saying, this is a really action-packed first level. And what you've got here, you've got another story sequence. It's almost like a mini challenge, isn't it? But there are like little bits of story, rather than just running through a level and then fighting Robotnik at the end of it. And actually, I don't think I really appreciated that at the time. when you're playing through this game, which shield you have at the end of the level can actually affect how easy the boss is. And now we're on to Hydrocity Zone. This is the designated water zone. Even though I did say earlier that almost all of the levels have water in them anyway, this is the water zone. And you know what? I think they made it look a little bit like Labyrinth Zone on purpose. Because I think they had the idea of making a level that's Labyrinth Zone but really fast. And not only just making it really fast, but making it the fastest zone in probably any Sonic game. I don't know if I've played a level in any Sonic game that's faster than this. Yeah, these levels are a lot faster than the ones in Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. Oh, that was a high bounce. These levels are so big that even to this day I'm still finding new things. But I always get the feeling that I'm just missing out when I play this level because I want to go so fast that I end up taking the same route every time in this level. So I'm just storming past vast areas of the level that I just I'll never get to see. It's quite a quick zone because it's finished already. Have you noticed the music here is actually the Robotnik music? But then, when you start drowning and then grab some air, it turns into this music. And this is the only instance where you can actually hear it in Sonic 3. And it must have been a bug. It must have been an oversight. This is probably my favourite act, and probably my favourite music in the game. It's quite hard to appreciate the music in this bit because there's a lot of rumbling going on. But there's a wall closing in from the left. It's those little set pieces that just add a little something extra to Sonic 3 that you never got in Sonic 2. Actually, saying that, you do get that occasionally in Sonic 2. But yeah, this is the zone where you really gotta go fast. Looks like there's something to the right there. There's a little trick you can do actually. You can get through these pathways if you go fast enough. There's not actually anything in that corner, but I'm sure they've hidden a few item boxes in some of those corners. This level flows really well. So you're going so fast, you'd expect it to be over in about 30 seconds, but they've made these levels so big. On average, they're about 3 times as big as the levels in Sonic 2. I missed that checkpoint, didn't I? And then I die straight after. I'll soon catch up to where I was. Actually, let's just stop here to see if there's an item down here. Because sometimes these little areas have got items. Oh yeah, there's an invincibility. So yeah, all the things that they added to Sonic 3. So Tails can fly now. Oh, here's Knuckles pressing buttons again. He's the island's button presser. Alright, so you have to be careful here because this is actually underwater. In fact, you lose your fire or lightning shield if you touch the water. So what I really wanted to exit this with a bubble shield. So I've just instantly lost my lightning shield. This is an interesting boss. Something that I really like with the way they designed most of the bosses in the Sonic games is that there's not this thing. There's a thing that I see in a lot of bosses that really frustrates me, and that is when they're completely invincible or completely out of reach, and then they'll expose a weak point that you can hit them, and then that process repeats again. There's actually a couple of bugs on this boss. If you run past that checkpoint too quickly, then it fails to lock the screen and you can run to the end and the game will just fail to progress. Now we're on to Marble Zone. I think this is the only level that doesn't have water in Sonic 3, and there is a technical reason for that. The level actually wraps around vertically, and you can't really have water there because what would end up happening is that you'd sort of go from the bottom of the level to the top of the level whilst you're underwater, and then you would be above the water, and it would just end up just disappearing and reappearing. You'd end up with a bug that you can't really fix. Oh yeah, this is the level with the spiky enemies that, for some reason, even though they're the baddies, they don't actually hurt you. Oh yeah, and these weird spinning top gimmicks. This game does have some odd gimmicks in it. That spiky guy nearly got me. Why did I struggle with this bit so much? There we go. There's a lot of spikes in this level. So this is obviously... this is more platforms than speed. But yeah, it's very spiky. See what I mean? There's too many spikes. Oh, I've got to start the level again. There's something I don't think I really appreciated at the time. Back in 1994. This game does have an awful lot of parallax. It's got loads and loads of background layers. Now the Mega Drive actually only has 2 scrolling layers. If you're familiar with the Mega Drive hardware, you can just split the screen up. You can scroll every individual line at a different speed. But it's something that they really pushed it with this game. And they have a fair bit of animation as well. They've got a lot of animated tiles. So here's a section that I don't remember ever seeing before. Of course, if you explore the stages rather than running through them, then you'll find new things. I've heard the argument that the Sonic games are supposed to be about speed, so it's bad level design if you put obstacles in front of Sonic, because you can't react to them in time. And I've always thought that was a really weird argument, because I've always thought that the first time you play a game, you're not expected to be good at it, so what you should really do is maybe play it a little bit slower, which is a legitimate way of playing the game. Maybe it's best to save the speed running until you're more familiar with the game. I can sort of understand the argument that there's there's a bit of a pacing issue in Sonic 1 because you've got Marble Zone and Labyrinth Zone, which are just a bit of a plod to get through both of those zones. But I think actually at that point, before there were any other Sonic games, I think they were making a mascot platformer, and they were thinking about platforming, and the speed part of it was probably added in during development, and they would have had to scrap Marble Zone and Labyrinth Zone completely if they changed direction midway through development. So I can't really see that as so much of a criticism of the game itself, other than in hindsight after all the other games were released. Alright, so we've got that cool Michael Jackson mini-boss music again. I don't really know, because the game doesn't actually explain a lot of itself very well. I don't really want loads of text on screen explaining the story. I think the idea is that Robotnik is mining this level for whatever reason. Maybe he's digging through it to look for emeralds, or he's just causing havoc to try to ruin Sonic's progress. But again, it's a nice little thing that they've added to the game that wasn't in the previous games, where you do see Robotnik periodically. He's not just waiting for you at the end of a level, and it's almost like you're chasing him through the island. I don't actually want to get all 7 emeralds. I don't like playing as Super Sonic in this game. I like to hear the proper level music and not just the invincibility theme. When I first got this game, and this was 1994, I had the Mega Drive set up in my bedroom, but I only had a black and white TV in my bedroom, and it was only on certain occasions that I was allowed to play it on the big TV downstairs. So I played this game with a black and white TV, and it made these special stages particularly hard. But I was able to do it, and I think, if I remember right, the blue spheres are a very slightly lighter shade of grey than the red ones are, but it does make some of the special stages particularly difficult if you only have one left to collect and you don't know where it is. Yeah, this spinning top is such a weird gimmick. It doesn't really make sense in certain places because there's certain walls that you can only smash if you're on top of one of those spinning tops. Otherwise it just completely impedes your progress. I don't think magazines at the time really appreciated the subtle little things that are added to the game. I think a lot of reviews are actually quite average for this game, 70%, things like that. And I think it's because they took a look at the fact that there's only 6 zones and just concluded that it's just more of the same, slightly less impressive. But there is actually quite a lot of technical stuff under the hood that Sega have done. You'll notice this on the boss. They actually programmed in a software scaling routine, but they don't use it very often because I think it slows the game down a lot. I think it's used on this boss, and it's also used on the egg robos in Sky Sanctuary Zone. Oh, look, the whole level's crumbling. This is because Robotnik's been digging so much. Ooh, Tails died there. So I know in advance that having a lightning shield is very helpful on this boss, and I just so happen to know from experience that there's a lightning shield in here. So I'll grab that quickly. Yeah, so if I double jump here I can get in a few extra hits before the boss actually starts, which is a bit cheeky. I'm glad they don't prevent you from doing things like that. Do you see that? You see how Robotnik flies away? That's actually software scaling. I think that's what it is. But it does make the game stutter just a little bit. Alright, so now on to Carnival Night Zone.